ES E-mini futures 2000 tick chart, and we're using price action rules and market geometry to determine where to enter for high probability setups. So if I scroll back here, you can see we started the overnight session with this nice downtrend working lower, break, push to new low. After new lows created, we can expect the market to create a reversal or a correction. As you can see, we reversed up immediately after creating this new low and went into a sideways consolidation. Now I came into the market around this area here, and it's common when you have an overnight spike like this that's really strong to the downside or upside, and then it starts to consolidate, that you'll continue to work lower out of this consolidation. But you can see we have this breakout, and we know that 90% of the time breakouts fail. So as I saw this, we have this short-term downtrend get break, push to new low, and then we ended up working up higher. Now it's common after a failed breakout for us to break out the other side of the trading range, but you can see how different this break is. It's not a break and then we start to consolidate. We broke out and continued to work higher. Now when I saw that, I really started to trust some kind of wider uptrend, and we had this one drawn originally where you kind of just ignore this first swing, multiple confirmations off of the bottom. But we broke outside of this channel and then created new extreme and continued to work higher. So I just went ahead and widened this channel. I was looking for something decent here, but you can see we have new high, first entry long, second entry long. The higher low formed above, below EMA, and then we had another good signal bar. But you can see it's like we had this strong bear pin bar, and then this bull bar formed. So it's not that high probability of a setup. You can see we're kind of congested here. So I definitely want to see a setup form a little bit more clear. This one's decent because it has a nice two legs, but as you can see, we're below EMA, like I said. So unfortunately, no opportunity to enter here. I want to see if we continue to work higher. If we do, I want to see a nice push phase and then like a second entry long at the EMA to consider going long here. But it's really up to the market. We'll see what it wants to do. All right, we broke outside of that channel again and continue to work higher. So I'm just going to connect these two swings down here at the bottom. There's multiple confirmations off the top. I'm going to be playing this wider channel. If we end up breaking out of the bottom of this, I might reconsider and tighten back up. But as of right now, it seems pretty bullish. We are pretty consolidated here, but we continue to work higher, like I said. So there's a good chance that there's a wider uptrend in play. All right, guys, coming back as I entered this failed second entry short, you can see new low, first entry short, pullback, second entry short failure. I scalped my 8 ticks and my 16 ticks already. I entered this trade. My ATM strategy didn't trigger, so it didn't automatically put my stop loss or anything, so I had to manually do it. But luckily it didn't immediately rip down and end up going lower than my stop loss would be. I already scalped my 2 here and 2 there, so I'm up $600 on the trade, and then I'm leaving these 2 contracts in as a runner, just to see. Speaking of, I gotta drop this down to 2. Yeah, because I had to manually put this in because I entered with 6 contracts. I manually put this in, but luckily, like I said, it didn't come back and stop me out. So I'm gonna be holding this runner. Let's see what the market wants to do. All right, guys, our runner got stopped at break even there. Pretty decent trade. I was hoping for a little bit better of a runner, but that's just the way it goes. I'm still up $600 on that trade. So I built a little bit of a buffer just in case we get any other trades later on today. I'm thinking that there might be some kind of spike in channel, something like this. But the fact that we didn't bounce here is making me kind of second guess that. If this uptrend, this wider one, is still in play, then it still needs to create new extremes. So this is kind of just area of development. I want to see if the market's going to reverse, if we're going to consolidate and push back above EMA to attempt to test new high. So it's really just kind of sitting on our hands now and seeing what the market wants to do. All right, we broke lower like this, so I redrew this tighter channel with breaking new extreme already. Now we have this downtrend working lower. Looks like we had potential overshoot here. This is where stuff can get pretty confusing, so you got to be patient and see where the market wants to go. There's no clear structure here. All we know is that this uptrend has potential new high created already. Now if I go back to this wider channel, there's a chance that we need to create new high because we haven't retraced over 50% of it. You can see this is the 50% line of this channel. If we break past this 50%, we can either find support here, but if we continue to go lower past this 50%, there's a good chance that it won't create new high. So it's pretty confusing. We have this channel here, that has break a new high already, and then we have this wider one that still needs to create new high. So it's, with it being so confusing, I'm not really looking to jump into any trades, long or short. Kind of just got to sit on my hands and be patient here. Looks like this downtrend wants to get new low. All right, we created new low. After new low is created, we can expect a correction or reversal. So we're still in area of development here. Definitely got to be patient and wait for some more clear structure before I consider looking for trades. In areas like this, I want to understand what the bias of the market is, whether it's an uptrend, downtrend, or a sideways consolidation, aka trading range. And then I want to find the setups that confirm that bias. And when you don't know the bias, you shouldn't even be looking for trades. So right now, I'm not even looking to enter anything. I just want to give the market some space and time to be able to determine where it wants to go from here. All right, guys, we ended up just forming some kind of consolidation here. And the market's really slowing down. ATR is still decent. We're at 3 here. But I think I'm going to go ahead and take my break, come back in about an hour, and hopefully have some clear market structure to trade. I drew this wider uptrend here, hoping that if it continued to work higher, we could catch it, catch a second entry long or something. But we immediately broke as soon as I drew it, attempted to create new high, and now we're reversing back down to the bottom of this trading range. So I'll see you in about an hour where the market's gone, and hopefully we get something. All right, just came back and it looks like we have a decent downtrend working lower here. I was hoping for a second entry short here, but as you can see, it wasn't that clean, kind of consolidated. A lot of bars stacked side by side here, and you can see new low, first entry short, and then we made a new low or a double bottom here, so count resets. So this is only a first entry short, but if you were able to enter that before I reloaded my data, this setup looked pretty decent. I put my limit at 8 ticks and it didn't fill me. But if you got filled on this trade, it's decent. You caught a nice trade there. But now that we're in this wider downtrend, the bias is bearish. There's a potential for this downtrend here that had overshoot to get new low. So I'm definitely thinking bearish. Hopefully we can get some kind of second entry short at the EMA. It's looking like this downtrend got break, pushed to new extreme. So back to waiting once again. Overall decent price action today. There was a few setups. There was this failed second entry short up here, and then if this one formed better, like before my reload, before this double bottom count reset, decent trade. Pretty decent price action, like I said. So it's a lot better than last week. The ATR last week was super slow, and then FOMC hit and the ATR was like 6, so it was pretty much untradeable. So this week it's refreshing to see some clear price action and bars that aren't too big. So let's see what the market wants to do. After new low, like I always say, we expect a correction or reversal. If we continue to work lower, I'm going to widen this downtrend to try to account for the price action that forms. All right, guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. The market's gotten pretty slow now. Overall, pretty decent price action. We had this big spike down, break, push to new extreme, consolidation, then we had this nice uptrend working higher that needed to create new highs. So we got this failed second entry short to test that. After new highs created, we expect correction or reversal, and you can see it led to reversal. This had overshoot and it led to a correction. It looks like we got some kind of wider downtrend here. It's really hard to find a channel that fits here though. We keep breaking outside of this channel or have an overshoot. So really big test of patience this afternoon session, but overall pretty decent price action. The short-term trends mostly played out. If they got overshoot, it pushed up and then ended up creating new low. All these short-term channels pretty much created new extremes. So it's really good to see the market has good ATR. It was 3 pretty much all day, so that's perfect for our strategy where I'm risking 8 ticks every trade. So pretty good day. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section. I have a Discord community where I live screen share my charts every day. If you guys are interested in that, the link will be in the pinned comment and in the description. And feel free to subscribe. I'm going to be uploading my live charting sessions every day. Thank you guys for watching, and good luck with your trading.